They should have thought of this 100 years ago, if you love absinthe and other anise-flavored spirits, but it's dry January and you're taking a break from alcohol. Today's episode is a solution. We'll be making alcohol-free absinthe plus 2 ways to enjoy it, mimicking a traditional absinthe serve and a cocktail where you won't even miss the alcohol. Maybe making today's ingredient would have been a better idea at the turn of the 20th century, when absinthe was banned almost worldwide. We've covered reasons behind that, how to serve it multiple ways, and a few cocktails with it in our Absinthe 101 episode. We've already covered quite a few non-alcoholic ingredients and cocktail recipes on the channel. Find the playlist here. Now let's add absinthe to that list, for cocktails without worrying about any green fairies. And without a hangover. It's mocktail time.
It's cocktail time!
Here are the tools I'll be using to make what is essentially an absinthe syrup, as the base for our zero-proof cocktails of the day. A blender will get everything mixed, and we'll serve it in a small version of an absinthe fountain. And in between, this vacuum setup for filtration, vacuum flask, glass Buchner funnel, handheld vacuum pump, and for this recipe, a muslin filter cloth. I got some new gadgets here that don't break the bank, but they will really improve my workflow for DIY ingredients like syrups, cordials, liqueurs, and even flavored spirits. Some of you mentioned in the comments under the clear espresso martini video that you were struggling with filtering the coffee oil vodka. Today's setup would help with that as well. I'll link these tools below if you want to streamline your prep work too. But remember, you don't need a vacuum setup to make today's recipe. A strainer with a muslin cloth works too. It'll just take longer. As for the ingredients, it's just a handful of them this time. Water, sugar, lemon peel, fennel seeds, star anise, glycerol instead of alcohol for the body, and optionally some green food coloring. I'll link these two below as well. I already have the spices weighed out. 12 grams of fennel seeds, 8 grams of star anise. So just add this to a pan over medium heat to gently toast them. Keep them moving so they don't burn. Toasting them will bring out their oils, release even more flavor, and it will also cook off any residual humidity, so they grind up better. You'll smell the fragrance, and that's when it's time to blend them up to get it to a coarsely ground powder. With the water and sugar, we'll make it a rich syrup, 2 parts sugar to 1 part water. For this recipe, let's add 220 grams of sugar to 110 grams of water. Heat it up slightly and stir it until the sugar melts and dissolves completely. Then pour this rich syrup over the blended spices and add the lemon peel. We need 3 grams. And as always, we're using food grade and washed lemon peels. Lastly, pour in 180 grams of glycerol. If you don't have glycerol, you can instead add it the same weight, 180 grams of rich syrup. This also cooled the mixture slightly, so it's safe to blend it. Never blend hot liquids. Have this run for 1 minute. Then get your vacuum setup ready. We'll use muslin cloth, because these paper filters that would work great for something like filtering super juice would clog up with this thick syrup, even with a vacuum pump. So cut 2 circles of cloth to measure, to fit in the glass funnel. Make sure the muslin cloth was washed first, without using detergents and fabric softeners. Then layer them on the filter's top part. This extra step will prevent clogging and make cleanup easier for the glass filter. Now pour the mixture into the upper section of the vacuum filtration system, straining out any larger particles using a fine mesh strainer. Then it's time to attach the vacuum pump and start filtering by squeezing the handle. This will do a quick work of filtering our syrup. But again, you can let the mixture slowly filter through a muslin cloth, but it will take a lot longer due to the syrup's thickness. Once filtered, make sure you clean the glass components. Then, let's add some color to our syrup. This is optional, but it really looks the part when you're talking about anything absinthe. So I'll add a few drops of green food coloring to a part of the syrup. Then introduce this color back to the whole batch part by part. Remember that the color will lighten when diluted with water, so I'm aiming for a mint green shade, similar to our DIY mint liqueur. Now bottle and add a label to our absinthe syrup. It's always best to store syrups in the fridge, but with this one, we would lose the characteristic louche effect that happens when mixed with water. Since we made the rich syrup, it should be good at room temperature for at least a week, if not longer. But as always, if you see any particles floating in there, discard it. As for the taste, it's very concentrated, with strong fennel and anise flavors, balanced by the freshness of lemon. It's not for drinking on its own, but it will shine when mixed with ice-cold water. There's just another thing that this syrup has in common with its spirited big brother. So let's first serve it in a similar way, using this beautiful absinthe fountain. Start by filling the absinthe fountain with ice and water. Then grab a glass and pour in half an ounce or 50 ml of our absinthe syrup. Looks beautiful in this old school glass. Now slowly pour in about 100 ml or 3.5 ounces of ice-cold water. we skip the sugar cube traditionally used in the absinthe syrup, because our absinthe syrup is sweet enough. That doesn't mean we shouldn't still use the absinthe spoon to gently stir the syrup and water. You'll notice the slight louche effect. This cloudy transformation happens as essential oils in the syrup react to the cold water, mimicking the iconic visual of traditional absinthe. We made a great alcohol-free alternative that doesn't compromise on flavor or presentation of the original, as it turned into a gentle pale green color. The flavor is also spot on thanks to the spices. There's even some depth from the glycerol, and of course sweetness from the syrup. But let's also make something a bit more fresh. In the absinthe episode, we made the absinthe highball and the absinthe cocktail. So let's also cover the absinthe sour, but dry style of course. We'll need absinthe syrup, lemon super juice, water, and saline solution. This will be a shaking cocktail, so start by adding half an ounce or 50 ml of our absinthe syrup into the shaker. Next, the sour component. 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 ml of lemon super juice. This one is made with ascorbic acid added, as per my updated super juice recipe, published in my Super Ingredients ebook, available to download for all my Patreon supporters, but anyone can get it in the shop tab on the Cocktail Time Patreon page. Absinthe needs water, so let's add 3.5 ounce or 105 ml of cold water in here as well. And lastly, as we do with almost every cocktail on this channel, 2 drops of 20% saline solution to boost the flavors. Now add ice, give it a quick shake to chill everything down, and double strain into a chilled coupe glass. For garnish, we could go with a single mint leaf, but I didn't have any fresh mint on hand, so I'll garnish it with a small lemon peel circle. Cheers! The lemon adds freshness and brightness to the base. If you enjoy sour cocktails and subtle fennel flavors, you love this combination. It's the best and easiest zero cocktail we've made so far. You might even forget there is no alcohol in it. We made it to the bottom of the glass. Today's book spotlight is of course Zero, a new approach to non-alcoholic drinks. I've used it for the basis of most zero ingredients we've made on the channel, including absinthe, which they made with essential oils. If you want to try their versions, click the link in the description to grab a copy for yourself. And since it's dry January, I'd love to hear what's your favorite non-alcoholic drink. It can be a mocktail or anything else, just drop it in the comments below. Next week we'll cover how to make simple, non-alcoholic cocktail recipes with ingredients that add body and kick. Until then, cheers!